DiDonato, the captain of the Blues. So ball in the air to kick us off as we tick into a Saturday afternoon. D's win the first tap. Morris couldn't quite gain possession but did flick it out into the path there of her teammate. They share it out towards the broadcast side. Hand pass just missed Williams on the way through but was clipped high at the bottom of the pack and will win the free kick. Good work hustling back after the ball. Chips into the middle of the ground. Called out of it there was Morris as the ball went over the back of that pack. McDonald, fair bit of experience at the highest level, gets involved. Blues sharing it around by hands. Von Berto was involved, and then it comes through here towards the captain, DiDonato, who turns it over at centre-half forward.
Casey Phillips with the inset mark in the long sleeves. Went to Lucy Burke early at full-back, so that'll be an interesting one to watch. See if that matchup holds. Ellen Morris on the wing. 4 goals across her 6 games this year. Gets it up towards half forward and a strong mark in front. Well taken contested grab. It's found out wide from Mia Fuller. Stepping off the line there, Matilda Fitzgerald will chip it in board and that'll work out fine for Nadia Von Berto, the former Saint. She plays on. Inboard for DeMio. Markson works over to the far wing. It's now with Hannah Scott, who will chip the ball down the line. To the hard-running Amy Trindade. The Blues working this well. All the way from half-back to half-forward. DiDonato will look toward the pocket. The Flyers will have a look. In there for the Blues. They had a couple of options that couldn't quite be found. It squirms out the back. Casey now with numbers. Working hard was Talia Plunkett. We'll do it all again.
Good ball movement. That's horseshoed it all the way around and got themselves deep inside 50. Couldn't quite get through with the clearing kick, but the hand pass was good out to the skipper who snaps the opening goal of the game. Plunkett feeding DiDonato, who snaps on the right. Had a few touches early in the game and gets the Blues on the scoreboard. Only a couple of minutes into the contest. Their first meaningful foray forward. Their 1 straight 6. Casey Demons yet to register.
Tidy start. Tavy DiDonato showed some signs as an Eagle in the most recent AFLW season. Back with the Blues and back impacting games. So Carlton with the start here at Casey Fields. Matza over the top of Jatzak, but it was well rowed by Shree Fairchild back into the team this week. She goes inside 50. Big pack of players there. Bianca Line couldn't take it. She's also in. Zoe Mitchell in with the tackle. Another stoppage to come. Ball tossed high. Jatzak down towards McDonald. Lauren Jatzak goes in again. It gets out the side. Olivia Morris looking for an option, but there's plenty of Carlton players back. Handball over towards DiDonato, who had it bounce at right angles in front of her. She wraps up Olivia Morris right on 50. It goes again. Jatzak down once more. Towards the boundary line it goes. It's kept alive. Head over the footy there, Georgia Jackson. That one goes out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Try to get some early numbers in a moment once they become available for us. McDonald with 4 touches and the goal kicker, DiDonato, with 3. The 2 leading ball getters on the ground for their respective clubs. D's looking to mount an attack here. Some nice ruck work once again, and their hands were very good to feed Byrne, who goes to about 30, but another intercept mark touched off the boot though. Called to play on. D's players were very much awake to that. They've got a ball scrambling around, still around 30 from their goal, and they end up with a stoppage. So, a ball up in the corridor. Jatzak having an influence in those ruck contests. Blues with the clearance, not going to go far though. Tracking onto it there is McDonald. Denied a 5th disposal there. In fact, denied a 6th disposal, and we'll have another ball up 40 from goal.
It's held up. Matza down against Jatzak. Another strong tackle there from Liv Morris, former Swans Academy prospect.
So McDonald with a couple of clearances as well.
One down, Carlton looking to clear. Another good tackle from Morris. And ball in board, Matzer intercepting. Gave the ball short to Plunkett, who tried to clear away, couldn't quite. It clean ball Kirkwood. And went in with the tackle. D's have it on half forwards. Carlton should be able to get out and do. Ball down the line, McCarthy, edge underneath it, wanted to push in the back and won't get it. Well played Tegan Williams back there for the red and blue. Against the Blues, it goes inside 50, it's a high ball, it's a 2-on-1, in there for Casey was Klein. Brought down to ground and a good tackle over the top from Charlotte Hammonds, who's a former AFLW Blue. 3 appearances back in 2021 for Carlton. Down by Matzer. Good tackle from behind, shouts of holding the ball, go unrewarded. High ball inside 50 from Tyler Byrne. It's bobbling one at the top of 50. Clearing ball, Fuller. Matzer kept it out in front, did well, slipped over. The Blues with a chance through the corridor.
But the D's force the spillage so they can try to win it back. Carlton still persisting. Little dribbling kick there from Plunkett up towards the wing position. D's trying to will it forward. Williams burrowing after it. Umpire waving it play on. I'm not sure that ball's coming out of there, and the umpire says it should have and penalises Carlton for it. So it's a Casey ball just forward of the wing to Williams, who was rewarded for that aggressive approach. She made an argument that she was the first one on the ball, but she gets the free kick. Long ball inside 50. The Blues defence has held up pretty well. The D's have been doing all the attacking. Taken here by DeMio up towards centre half back. D's looking for yet another repeat entry. The tackle pressure was good there from DeSanto. Blues will work it down the far side of the ground, but only momentarily. The D's with the numbers through the middle of the ground, and they'll work it now. It's a 2-on-2 right on attacking 50. If it gets over the back, there is a little bit of space to work with. Forced to tackle there is Mitchell. Umpire gives them time to work it out again, and it works out in Carlton's favour. Comes out here towards the helmeted DeSanto, who was clipped over the shoulder and will get the free kick.
Danica DeSanto, former Williamstown Seagull, goes to Matzer, former AFLW listed Kangaroo. Shifts it in boards. Trindade goes short for Lucy Burke up the ground. Draw Casey Phillips with her. It's a good ball for Plunkett, who gives it short. Opportunity here for the Blues. Von Berto will look inside 50 with a good kick. Great ball inside 50, spotting up Evie Lee. A chance for Carlton to grab another just before the midway points of this first term. Evie Lee called to go, looks short with the kick. McCarthy playing in front. Good work from behind by Casey Phillips. And the one-on-one will do it all again.
So the Blues only gone forward a couple of times, looking dangerous when they do. They've been able to open up the ground, give themselves a couple of good looks. They managed to squeeze out of a tackle there pretty well. Maslin involved. It comes through towards the skipper again. Indeed, Donato, who took on the tackler and lost. And the free kick will go the way of Casey, for Casey, who has it about 45 from the goal that her side is defending. Not a bad kick out to the wing position. Lynn was out there, couldn't hold on to the mark. Blues will attack again. Comes through towards DeSanto, who was cleaned up in a strong tackle, all clear from the umpire. Blues have it on 50 now. Hack it down towards an open goal. Comes down to the bounce. It sets up in the square. They decide to go for the centering kick rather than the shot, which was a disciplined play, but the D's close it down.
Well stocked back there. Try and work it out with a down the line ball. It's Delaney Madigan. That didn't quite work out the way Casey had hoped, and holding the ball call for a lack of intent.
Just stand there, that was odd.
So, Demons getting the run of the green.
Oh, really?
So they work down the line from Kirkwood. Still a wing, but it's been turned over. Back inside 50, Lucy Burke leading up at it. Couldn't hold. So Carlton with plenty of attacking play. Now past the midway point of this first term, Octavia DiDonato coming from the ground. She's the only goal kicker in this one so far. Thrown in from half forwards. Taken out of the ruck cleanly by Emily Hurley. Hat kick towards the pocket. Sophie McCarthy off after this. Had the step on Tegan Williams, but the boundary line wins out. We'll have it in from the pocket.
So to be thrown in about 30 metres from the Blues goal, who have the opening major about 3 minutes in. Burrowing around at the fall of it. No clean possession. Leading the way for the Blues is Lee. Do it again. They scrounge something from this. Worked down well. In a dangerous position for Casey, but they do get possession. They hack it into the middle of the ground. Blues with the numbers and the mark. Just outside 50 here, taken by Von Berto. Drives it to the top of the square. Dangerous ball for the D's defence. It comes off hands. They go into the open goal and get their second via Lee. Nice front and centre. Attacking to a dangerous position and made no mistake from close range. Blues 2 straight 12. Casey gets a register.
Avie Lee, right place, right time to swoop on that and kick the goal. It's her first of the year and second in her career. Former Darrabin Falcon.
Bit of a famous football factory, old Darrabin.
That almost goes without saying at this point, doesn't it?
It does. A bit like the old Geelong Falcons used to be called that.
See a commonality there in more ways than one.
That's right.
So back to the middle we go. It's the Blues with the break. Casey haven't got much forward of the ball to try and get it out of the middle here, which they will do. Well played by Zari Byrne in the ruck. The kick towards half forward is chopped off though by Nadia Von Berto, who shifts it to DeMeo. Goes down the line with the kick. It's almost chopped off. Fairchild at the foot of it. Socking it off the deck, up towards the top of 50. DeMeo got back to the ball and danced her way from a couple of demons. It's a high ball. Burke got hands to it, couldn't hold. Good play there by Casey Phillips back there as they work it out via hands. McDonald bounced off the knee. We'll get it back via hands, and they've worked this out well. It's Markby who will go down the line with the kick. It's a bobbling ball. Casey with the numbers. Handball fanned out wide. Hammonds to get it inside 50. It's a long ball towards the top of the square. Will drift out the back. Klein read it well. Got to the ball. Got a foot to it. It trickles the wrong side of the post from a Casey point of view. Their opening score of the afternoon, not the one they wanted. It's an 11-point game.
Yeah, just didn't quite get it on the outside of the boot. It went straight. But that was one of their best build-ups. Lovely long kick inside 50, giving them a chance. 11 points they trail by 6.5 to play in this, the opening term at Casey Fields. Overcast day with some blue skies poking through as we speak. Long ball outside 50. They've looked pretty good in the contest as Hurley almost took a contested mark there. They've certainly had the benefit in the air so far.
Worth to mention too that if you're just reading down the team sheet, it may be a bit confusing. We've got a Lynn and a Line out there. Bianca Line is into the team for Casey. Jo Lynn has been playing from the start for the D's.
Lynn, Line and Lee. There's a few in there. The D's work it inside 50 via Byrne. That's a lovely trap and spin there from Rusecki. Kick smothered. Blues defence once again denying them. The quick kick out, that's going to work okay. Good ball forward, and Hurley standing where she was a moment ago, contesting. Can they break forward here? That's a good kick. Mark was spilt though out there by Scott, who's then tied up. And we'll have a bounce just Casey's attacking side of the centre circle, trailing this game by 11 points.
Just over 5 to play first term. Sorry, Byrne got something on it in the ruck, then went in. Good tackling pressure this by Casey. It's fine out the side though for the Blues. Getting it away, Emily Hurley up towards the middle of the ground. A ball fired across, or a throw according to the umpire. It's going to be handed back to Indy Markby, former Eastern Rangers prospect. Goes short with the kick. It was trapped well by Hammonds in the end. It was a tough one for her to deal with. Back up to Markby. He threw it on the right boot and got it inside 50. Couple of grabs at it for Mitchell, couldn't hold. Moving through Fairchild, brushed off one, gave it in board. It's a high up and under ball from Zari Byrne that goes up and down the chimney. Hitting it hard was Sophie Casey, couldn't take it with her. Carlton to clear. Ball outside of their defensive 50. It was really well played there by Trindade, who attacked it hard. She chips it into open space. Lemire with a chance to run onto this, gets there first, wheels around. Still Kira Lemire. Ran into a Carlton player and did well. Trindade got it back. Bobbling ball inside 50 here for the Blues. Lucy Burke trying to trap this. Keeps it out in front of the former Saint, which she held on to. Not according to the umpires. Carlton have done well to get it from half back to their forward pocket, but couldn't capitalise when it looked like there was a chance for them too.
A third goal here would be a terrific fillip for them. Time in forward half would be fairly even, but they've been efficient when they've gone down there. Had the dangerous options. Burke taking the forward line ruck contest there. Blues have it on the edge of 50. It was probably incorrect disposal, but it came down to Pryor, and the umpire deemed there wasn't sufficient, so we'll have a ball up instead. Palmed down towards the skipper again in Di DeSanto. Dee's bobbling it around. It comes out to Casey. Casey through the middle of the ground. Not a bad looking kick, although it just drifted over the top of its intended target late. Blues to straighten up via Fitzgerald, who's had half a dozen possessions. Goes down towards half forward, finds McCarthy. McCarthy looking for a target at about 40 there in Burke. Burke brought to ground. Dees sharing it efficiently there as Williams sends it out wide towards the half-back flank, bobbling around. Blues to get another look at it. The umpires paid a high contact free kick going the way here of Carlton. Marginally, you'd think too far out to score in the circumstances. Goes short, and it's cut off by Casey, who's intercepted for the third time in this quarter.
This again is Sophie Casey, who will go short to Tyler Byrne. Clearing ball towards Jatzak. A number of Blues around her. DeSanto couldn't quite take it with her, but Fitzgerald could. It's a handball across. Good play by Matza. Searing ball into the middle of the ground was a good one for DeMio. From Trindade as it goes inside 50. Spegan out in front with a wonderful hold. A couple of Demons tried to close it down. Spegan got it moving towards the top of the square. McCarthy once, twice, that'll do. Good awareness by Ellie Spegan. To the lead of Sophia McCarthy, who will go back and try and steer through a third for Carlton.
Just looking so much more dangerous when they go down there with the space they're able to generate.
Was pick 39 in the 2020 draft to North Melbourne. 4 AFLW appearances there. With the skip step straight out in front. Shouldn't have any issues and doesn't. 3 in a row to kick it off for Carlton. And Casey at home at Casey Fields need to start finding an answer here.
They do. They're doing a couple of things all right around the ball and offensively, but just Carlton's targets inside 50. It's just a contrast between the way it's going inside at both ends. Looking at some of the specific numbers, individuals, Von Berto 9, McDonald 9, Fitzgerald 7, the leaders on the ground. But from a team point of view, Carlton plus 23 in disposals, but Melbourne 10-8 inside 50s. But that's sort of what we're talking about around that efficiency. Clearance is pretty even at 8-7. Carlton controlling the ball, though, 21 marks to 8, which has been a major factor early. We're in the middle. Good tackle. And we'll have it balled up in the middle of the park. Casey just creeping ever so much closer to their attacking 50. Clearance won there by, again, Di Donato. High in the air, good mark taken by Jatzak in the ruck. Moving around the ground and giving them some options. Centre half forward, the kick lands at ground level. Good little intercept flashing through there from DeSanto, who copped a massive hit earlier in the game, but has come through that okay. Fitzgerald just overrunning it. D's looking for an opportunity at their first goal in the dying seconds of this term. And it looks as if they're going to be beaten by the clock here late in the opening term. First term done, 3 goals to the Blues, 1 behind to Casey. DiDonato, McCarthy and Lee, the goal scorers.
Handball back towards the middle of the ground. Liv Morris hitting it hard and getting it inside. 50 to the lead. It was a spill marked there by Vasetsky. Balled up at the attacking point of the square from a Casey point of view. Part of the Big B squad in the VAFRA a couple of years ago, Anna Vasetsky. Spread well by Olivia Morris. Ball won't get out of there. Have that one hurled up. A good battle between Jatak and Matza in the rock early. Getting there was Georgia Jackson for the Blues, sent it high, but it's chopped off by Tegan Williams, who will get Casey going again.
And they need to keep building, that's for sure. Comes out here towards Morris. Half forward, Byrne couldn't quite hold on to the mark, floated across the front, and it just built free. Dee's paddling it forward, nice little spin there from Mitchell. Kick into the middle of the ground, awkward for Jatsak, landing at her toes a long way down, and then she gives away a high contact free kick, which is probably not surprising again, given how far down it is for her to go. Long ball to centre half forward here for the Blues. Dee's do pretty well to paddle it down. Morris a little bit untidy on the way out. Comes again towards McCarthy, one of their goal scorers in the first term, over to another one in Donato, who's caught in the tackle. No prior. Some good appreciation from the Casey fans as that one is held up. Just waiting on our ruck nominations, and we get them as Matza, family not too far from us as we speak, is involved in that. Picked up at the back of the pack here for Casey and worked into the middle of the ground. Did that really well. Hammonds has been okay in this early 25 minutes or so in the game. Places a kick out into the path of a teammate. Clever little knockdown there from Hurley. Blues will work it forward. Full stretch. DiDonato couldn't quite hang on to the mark. She lays a tackle that might have crept over the shoulder, but the umpire a little bit blindsided and will have a bounce. I
just want to quickly complete the point on Grace Matzer, who's over to take this ruck contest. Her grandmother spoke to us before the game and had some complimentary things to say about the coverage, which we appreciate. Jatak over the top. Blues have it here with Grace Matzer, who loads up long up towards the 50. Burkop attacking this alongside Spegan. Drifts out the back. Proy's got to be good. Back to the team this week. Handball back for Burke, who sees a kick smothered by Proy. It's towards the boundary line and kept in play. Might be to Casey's detriment though. Marked by Georgia Jackson. Right on 50. She stands just outside. We'll set one up. In the McCarthy direction. A few fly at that. No one able to hold. At ground level, Delaney Madigan was first there. Demons tried to clear, but it's only as far as Demio, who dropped the mark. Tries to get the handball away. Just about did that. Ella Morris there for Casey. As they try and get it off half-back, holding the ball, free kick. And Carlton with another opportunity to reload here.
Peppering away. So the inside 50 number's pretty even, but a real difference in the way that it's happening. That might hit a target, it does. Well-weighted kick lands there in the hands of Von Berto. Has it about 47 metres from goal. In fact, Trindale it is. Trindale, high kick to the top of the square. Casey take in the end a largely uncontested mark. Worked out towards a half-back flank. Good mark taken right in the middle of the pack there by Mitchell, surrounded by 4 Blues players. Just dropped it as she went to kick, but had time. Went to McDonald. McDonald was crunched in the marking contest. That was waved on, going back after it. Mitchell to tidy it up. Hand pass into the corridor is always dangerous practice. And it'll be held up for a bounce.
Yeah, not a bad effort there from Amy Trindade just to get it up towards the top of the square. Just a little bit beyond her range. One down there in the ruck by Lucy Burke. Try and move through via Plunkett. Got the handball back. It was socket off the deck there by Zari Byrne. And then likewise back the other way from Von Berto. It's the middle of the ground it goes. So a free kick here for Casey. Anna Vasetsky will go out wide towards Jatzak. But a couple of Blues around her, took the mark rather easily, considering that. Defensive side of the wing, looks short through the hands there of Fairchild. Good play by DiDonato to get the hands free. McCarthy towards the corridor, slapped out to the side. Fitzgerald in there for the Blues. Good tackle in there from Tavia DiDonato to wrap up Tyler Byrne. A couple of Burns out there with Tyler and Zari, alongside a couple of Morrises too for Casey. Fairchild, she tries to break the tackle. It's a strong one and a good one. Umpire Darren Parkin wanted holding the ball. A little bit unlucky there, Matilda Fitzgerald, not to get it.
Yeah, I reckon she could have disposed of it and was trying to almost rugby it forward by just sort of running whilst being tackled. That's brought to ground. Blues absorbing the tackle there.
That's the 50-50 one though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is there prior opportunity? Is there not? I'm fine with that one being pulled up.
Looked like the umpire was about to pay it, just the way he sort of shaped, and then thought, no, I'll err on the side of caution. Lovely spin from McDonald, kick smothered. You could hear it through the effects mic there on Fairchild as the Blues with another chance to bounce it down towards the wing. Just meeting the tackle head on there was McCarthy. Certainly nothing wrong with that side of Casey's game at the moment. And that tackle done by the much smaller opponent there. Roy in that contest. McDonald, hand pass, knocked down. So the Blues to reload again. Another terrific smother. That one on Fitzgerald, who's been prolific in the early part of the game. Going after it there is DeSanto. Trying to wrestle it out. It's held in by Morris. And gets up and gives Morris a bit of a shove. That all's fair in that one. And we'll have another stoppage right at the interchange gates, with Carlton leading by 17 points.
That's over the top. Sent down the line. Bit of interesting treatment as McCarthy will take this. It was the kick from Maslin down the line. McCarthy's been good. She's called to go and will dish the handball short. It'll be sent inside 50 from the Blues via Amy Trindade. Goes low. Umberto is now inside 50. I'll have it thrown up. One down again. This for Casey Mackenzie-Williams, who will go with the ball down the line, looking for Klein, who was playing behind. That's up. Demio, good tackle, Hammonds. This one to be balled up. Ball on the wing. Sophie Casey in to lay the tackle. Carlton try and get it forward. They've done well. Taking a bounce. Sending it long, DiDonato. Will drift over the back. Has it got the accuracy? It doesn't. A little bit unlucky there for Tavia DiDonato. Carlton's first behind of the afternoon.
Just needed that to sit up. They turned their opponents inside out, but kept on running. First score of the term as well. A kick out to Morris, who got a bit of space on the lead there. That's a dangerous kick. It did clear the head, though, of the main threats that were coming the other way. They've got it now with a floating ball out towards the wing position. If they can work that out, they've got a couple here. It's the other of the Morrises in Ella. Had a couple of players riding shotgun. Bounces it down towards Klein at half forward. Got a pretty awkward one when it hit the deck. Pressure good again from Carlton, but Casey need to scrounge something out of this, produce the next one if they can. Blues with other ideas, down towards McCarthy again. It's going to be a free kick in there. It's going to go the Blues' way for some treatment at the bottom of the pack. Looking into the corridor here where there's a few options in the middle of the ground. Going to take some marking. DiDonato did well to bring it to ground. Casey have probably got the numbers though. It comes out eventually towards Byrne. Couldn't get a disposal away. Umpire again allowing them to sort it, but forced to bounce the ball just Carlton's attacking side of the middle.
So even 3-goal lead for the Blues. Have another one as Sophie Casey was tackled. Smell.
Von Berto taking the mantle now as leading possession getter with 13. Di Donato 12, and then McDonald 12 for Casey.
Manson want it down. Farmed out on the up. Casey get it out the back. Here's Proy, who dishes the handball short. Working there with Ella Morris, who gets it up towards half forward. It's turned into half back. Here's Damon. Interesting ball. Sweating on it was Lynn, who gave away the free kick. Carlton get a little bit lucky. Von Berto will take it. She won't mind how she gets the disposal as long as she gets a clean one, which she did. It was immediately sent back from whence it came by Kenzie Williams. Carlton hemmed in. Kick down the line is a good one to find Octavia Di Donato, who marks on the edge of right half back.
Her 13th disposal. 14 for Von Berto a few moments ago. Going up in front in the contest there. McCarthy, hand pass ill-directed. Byrne fed it through. Now it is Casey for Casey. Bouncing it inside 50. Von Berto trying to track back and put pressure on. She did take the body, but it didn't impact them enough. Quick snap there by Seki down towards the top of the square. Blues share it on the way out. Another nice kick. Fitzgerald has it in a fair bit of space. Decides to stop. Go to the next link in the chain. Good ball. That's goes into the middle. Trapped again here by Trindade, who turns on the spot. Should have got the ball back. Might eventually here, and does. So it took a couple of hand passes, but it got back there. McCarthy, the target inside, almost took the mark. Kept it in front. Trying to feed that one through. Umpire is going to pay holding the ball. So Casey with a moment's relief there. Right on defensive 50 with the free kick trailing by 18 points.
It was Lemire who dived on it. Sophie Casey, the former AFLW Pie, will work the kick short, looking for Markby. Underhit it a little bit. Carlton with a chance to repel. It'll be sent inside 50 from Emily Hurley. It drifts towards the side. Opportunity here for Evie Lee. Path cleared, straightens up, shoots, and scores. A second for Evie Lee, a fourth for the Blues. And Casey really need a circuit breaker now.
Yeah, and an injured Demon as well at that same time. Going to make the way to the bench. It looked like a good old-fashioned corky in that contest. I think it might be Williams. Had that marking contest at centre-half forward. Just copped a big hit. Tegan Williams it is, making her way from the grounds. It was I think it was a knee in the thigh, which is pretty painful on a, doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. So she'll get a bit of treatment. Got 7 minutes till half time, so it'll be interesting to see straight onto the mat to have the physio try to get the blood pumping through there. 24-point lead to Carlton, who are right on top here. Hurley takes a turn in the ruck. Have a look at some of those team stats. So the Blues plus 36 in possessions, plus 4 now in inside 50, 16-12. It's 7-3 in this quarter. Melbourne Casey still winning the clearances, 15-11. Despite all of that, still a noted mark advantage for Carlton too, 27-16. And that's been telling around the ground. They've got a free kick here for holding the ball. Releasing there was Jackson. Off to skipper and Di Donato, who goes inside 50. They've decided to go towards an open square rather than having the shot. McCarthy was a target there. It's brought to ground. Burke tries to squeeze a kick away, run down, and holding the ball. Free kick will go. In fact, that was Spegan. That's a free kick that will go the way of Casey in the back pocket.
It is Casey Phillips, who will work it down the line. Went through the hands of Zari Byrne. Jo Lynn is one of a couple of Casey players in to lay the tackle. So we've got Casey Phillips and Sophie Casey all to try and work into a broadcast. One down to Di Donato, just about got a handball free. It's a kick forward from Georgia Jackson, which will work out fine for McCarthy.
Probably been the most influential forward, McCarthy, with her craft down there.
Already has one on the afternoon. Does she fancy having a look at a second here? We'll pop it to the pocket, up towards Lucy Burke. What a take. absolutely outpointed Casey Phillips. And the former Saint with an opportunity off the back of a silver service type delivery to try and thread the needle here.
A few ex-Saints on the ground, and she's certainly one of those from a famous Saint family.
So Lucy Burke on the runway for Carlton with the drop punts. Goes across the face, stays in play. There's a mark on the goal line. So I think the Demons should be fine to get rid of this. It'll be chipped across by Zari Byrne, and they've worked it to the back pocket.
They have still in a little bit of a tight spot on the scoreboard and in this passage of play. Down the line it goes. Probably going to come back in though. Blues fight for it at the fall. McDonald was involved in that. It goes down towards a 2-on-2. McCarthy in front position, brought it to grounds. And given a decent time to get rid of it. A fair bit of support in there. Mackenzie Williams came in for the Demons as well. And we'll have a ball up 25-30 metres around from Carlton's goal. There is Williams, whose hand pass was smothered. D's have it again outside of the boot there from Byrne, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. Thought it might have been touched off the boot, but obviously not. So it's a Carlton kick up against the fence there from Lee, who's already got a couple. This would be a gem. Does she think about opening up the angle and snapping? She's going to go the centering unselfish play anyway, looking for the captain. Couldn't quite get it to her. Blues still a chance there. The hand pass is fed over the top. Jackson immediately met in a tackle. Couldn't dispose of that, and we'll have another stoppage. She's a little bit slow to get to her feet.
Mia Fuller moving away, limping a little bit, but hopefully she's okay. Away from Fairchild to the top of 50. That'll be paid a mark. This is Georgia Jackson, who will go from just outside 50, pops it up towards the hot spot. And another good mark inside forward, 50. Carlton have absolutely loved that throughout today, and Lucy Burke has got another one.
Yeah, that used to be a much better shot than the last one where she was in that tight angle, went across the face. Gets a good look at goal on this occasion.
Moving in here, Lucy Burke. This will be disposal number 6. Looking to trouble the scorers for the first time, which she does with 6. Another goal to the Carlton total. A 30-point lead. And this is a highway to 4 points for the Blues.
Yeah, in a 10th v 11th contest. Probably didn't anticipate this level of dominance in what looked like a pretty even matchup on paper. Casey, the perception they probably underachieved to a degree. They've lost a lot of close games. Carlton have had their moments, but obviously not a stack to show for it on the scoreboard throughout the course of the year. But yeah, they do look like they're going to double the tally with a victory this afternoon, unless Casey can get things rolling. They'd love one before half-time. They've got about 100 seconds to do it. The clock continuing to run. Can they scrounge one back just to give themselves a little bit of belief? They've won the tap first. Do they get the follow-up clearance? Eventually the hand pass comes out towards Fairchild, who feeds it back to Byrne. Byrne's wobbly kick into the middle of the ground, intercepted yet again by the Blues. Will take another mark. Comes out here towards Fuller, who's caught in a tackle, brought to grounds. Calls for a throw from certain sections of the crowd, nothing doing. DeMayo works it forward. McCarthy was caught behind her opponent, this time in Mackenzie Williams, so was forced to tackle, and they'll get a stoppage about 70 around from their goal, the Blues. As we see Matza trying to work it down towards Trindade. D's win it though. Into the middle of the ground, mark not quite held, then ricochet down towards Hammonds, who couldn't get the disposal away. Fairchild flashed through without the footy, and we'll have another bounce. McDonald with a good strong tackle to go with her 13 disposals.
So just under 40 seconds to go in this second term. Casey still without a major in this game. Carlton doing all the attacking. Matza once and twice tried to get it down for DeSanto. It's on the up here to Tyler Byrne, who sends one high. Vasetsky with a good hold. Hand in front and throws it onto the right, inside 50 in the Joe Lynn direction. It's brought down to Fuller, who's able to take it. Clearing ball as far as Casey, who's got to get it going here, Sophie Casey. She's called to play on, gets it inside 50, and they'll have a mark there. Kirkwood will elect to go back, probably smartly, given the situation of the game.
Yep, that was a potentially darting eyes. You might have been able to find someone, but the safest play was to take the responsibility.
Particularly considering the siren was about to go. So Ali Kirkwood will give it a look. That one will fall short, won't score. And so Casey go into the main break with one behind to show for their efforts in the first 40 minutes. Carlton now well clear, 5 goals clear of their red and blue.
Who's down towards the left where they kicked 3 goals in the first term, added another 2 in the second to lead the match by 30 points as it stands. Casey with the first meaningful foray forward, well trapped, probably a free kick for a hold if anything there. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Looked like momentum was halted on the way through and she didn't quite have possession. It's picked up here for the Demons at centre half forward there by Lynn, who couldn't quite escape the clutches. And we'll have it balled up again, tapped down. Casey tried to shovel the hand pass back in the direction of Byrne. It didn't quite get there. Carlton go forward on the bounce here towards Spegan, who gave the hand pass out. Jackson thought about taking the advantage, but they'll go back and take the free kick in any case here. Plunkett in the middle of the ground. Works it forwards. Good delivery. And we had Spegan working forward to take the mark.
Here is Ellie Spegan. Former Fitzroy Jr. gets it up towards the 50 and inside. A good mark in front. Lucy Burke, who is having her way with Casey Phillips at the moment. There's 1 goal already. Too far out for her to score, you'd think. She senses that. Goes low and on the slide. A wonderful take, Emily Hurley.
Who's done a bit of ruck work and gone forward and had an influence. And just their height. It's not Hurley, it's Burke, or it's McCarthy, or it's Began. There's just targets everywhere at the moment.
Former Kellyville Rouse Hill Jr. kicks the goal. So another one for Carlton. Casey cannot stop the flow at the moment. 6 straight, well, 6 goals in a row, just to clear that up. 6 goals, 1 there on the day, but 6 in a row for Carlton. Casey, it looks like, are on a hiding to another loss.
Yes, a hiding in many respects on the scoreboard at the moment. But so the Blues 5 individual goal scorers. The only multiple is Lee, who got 2 through that first half. But it is very much all one-way traffic at this stage of the game. 36 points the margin. Carlton with a goal inside 3 minutes, coming in much the fashion that those before it have done, with just that aerial strength. McDonald not fighting a lone hand, but certainly fighting hard in the middle for the D's. Di Donato's had a nice afternoon, bouncing ball forward. Casey Demons, though, will snap it up towards centre half forward. Fitzgerald will get a free kick for a bit of an arm chop there. Not a stack in it, but probably there. Brings the kick wide to our broadcast side. Floating ball forward there from Damon is intercepted. Byrne certainly worked hard as well today. This is her 12th disposal. Finds a target in the middle of the ground. Hammonds hasn't been their worst either. Gets very close to the player on the mark. Penetrating kick though, and the Blues an uncontested intercept mark, not for the first time today, for Fitzgerald, who's had possession number 13 for herself as well.
Di Donato fans it out wide. And the Blues here looking corridor. Shifted infield for Georgia Jackson, who immediately got it moving. That's just about everywhere here. Lemire had it, got it inside 50. Couple of goes at it, but Hurley will take it out in front.
Could be 2 in 2 minutes for Hurley from a very similar position.
Good kick to find Emily Hurley. played for the Eastern Allies, a player from New South Wales, goes right-footed, looking for a quick-fire double. And Emily Hurley ripping this third quarter apart for Carlton.
She's done her work in the ruck and now doing it in the front half as well as pushing around the ground. And a 42-point game. I think on paper this one looked like it would be a fairly close run affair. Anything but as this unfolds. So can they get any level of momentum to just stop this Blues run? DiDonato up to 17, leads all comers on the ground. Von Berto 16, Trindade 15, and then you get the leading Casey player, and McDonald is at 15. 13 of them hand passes. He's had to do it all in tight. There is Casey for Casey. Non-controlling umpire gave a bit of a nod to the central umpire saying, yep, I reckon that's holding the ball, and it was. But Casey will get it back for the moment. On defensive 50. Floating kick into the middle of the ground. Fitzgerald might intercept another one here. Might have been clipped over the ear. Gave the hand pass back. Good strong tackle. DeSanto goes in low. Wins a free kick. Drew it high over the shoulder. Hand pass wide to the runner who had to stop there in Horn and go back. On 50. They'll float the kick and the intercept will come fairly comfortably here for Casey. Call to play on, goes around the player on the mark, and then too much carry on that ball. Scott tries to get it working forward again for the Blues. Shocking bounce down there for Lee. Casey will float it into the middle. Fitzgerald in everything just at the minute to start this quarter. She's going to get another possession here. In the middle of the ground, looks for the runner coming past. It does eventually. Fuller hobbling there after perhaps kicking her boot into her opponent. Horn turns around, goes to about 40. Play on as it comes off hands. Umpire deeming that's not high contact. She kind of drew it by going in a little bit low there, so no free kick will go the way of Lee.
Gemma Proy slow to get up, but hopefully she's okay to continue as it's thrown up on 50. And down well by Matza. Blues with numbers absolutely everywhere. Ball touched on the way up towards half forwards. Kirkwood in the vicinity for Casey. Wasn't required. A good tackle laid there on Morris by Hannah Scott. That's it down again. Fairchild to clear off half back. Bobbling ball towards the wing. Joe Lynn will try and get after this. Damon likewise for the Blues. Damon got there first and was immediately wrapped up by the former AFLW Pie. Keep the ball attacking side of the wing here for Carlton. Now by Matza. Fitzgerald couldn't quite get a free run to the footy. Fairchild in over the top. Taken away by Fitzgerald. It's a dinky kick up towards Plunkett. Went nowhere near the 15. She somehow got the handball away as Pro was trying to wrap her up. It's up towards half forward. Like McDonald in there with Di Santo of Carlton. If the ball is locked in there, is it coming out? We'll have yet another stoppage.
Ball suiting Carlton, holding it at significant advantage on the game at the moment. Casey need to be very bold and brave from here. Back inside 50 again. Maslin turns it over. So Casey at least keeping their hands on the footy a bit. We'll go through the team numbers, which isn't great reading for them either. Good contest required at half forward there. Lynn pushed up the ground, couldn't take the mark. Blues will go forward yet again. Von Berto has it 60 from home. Looks to a couple of leading targets. Was going down towards a player that's already kicked a couple in the quarter so far in Hurley, but it dropped a little bit short of her. Free kick for high contact in the front to Plunkett. Well, weight of numbers just forces mistakes. The more it goes in there, eventually the defence is either going to get caught out of position or give a free kick away on panic or turn the ball over. Plunkett, they've kicked very well for goal today, the Blues. 25 metres out, it's on line, it's got the carry. Wasn't pretty off the boot, but they're all worth 6. And the Blues lead it by 48 points, 8-1-49. Casey one behind. Basically halfway through this third term.
So love that off the boot. Talia Plunkett. In terms of the accuracy, that is. The technique, probably not quite as clean as she's kicked a footy in the past, probably. But again, as you say, they all count for the same.
It wasn't a helicopter, but if you look up the word mung in the dictionary, that's probably what that was.
Won't be too bothered, though, given the result.
No, that's right.
So, 8 goals in a row for Carlton. Casey haven't found an answer back. Jatsak down. Ball in the middle of the ground. Good tackle there from Tyler Byrne. Back to the umpire. Jatsak down this time. Left for the Blues, Emily Hurley. Ball finds its way out the side. It's off the deck there from Liv Morris towards Hammonds. Worried out of it. Ball there at ground level. Liv Morris and the tackle on DeMeo. The ball is live and it's going out the side. Fairchild underneath. Jatsak went with the don't argue and executed it well. It was then smothered. She'll go back again and find it. Hamble across. Markby immediately caught. Got it off. Kick forward smothered as trying to clear it away was Mackenzie Williams. Casey under the pump. As play goes on. The Blues with second effort after second effort. Plunkett involved there. This one down again by Hurley. Trying to burst through was Amy Trindade. Sophie Casey there at ground level. Over the top, and the umpire will move in and cross himself.
Carlton looking for another. Got 3 in the 10 or 11 minutes of this quarter already. Fitzgerald takes it. Floats it, didn't go the required distance anyway. The tackle put on there by Byrne. 8:40 left in the third. So Hurley doing the ruck work now, having kicked a couple in the quarter. Casey with the clearance. Going after it down there is Fuller, who's recovered from a couple of little knocks. Mark almost plucked out of the air there by Von Berto. Turns tackler on the ground. Carlton escape with the footy. Quick kick forward from Jackson will bounce down in the McCarthy direction. They're a chance at the back here. They won't have the shot. They'll go the discipline centering option where again they've got numbers. Clever little tap down. One way then the other turned back into traffic, and that's holding the ball if it wasn't too high. And it wasn't, so it's a Casey ball.
For Sophie Casey, who will immediately fan it out wide. On the stretch there, Liv Morris marks and goes. Looks down the line for Vasetsky, playing from behind. Got something on it. Immediately got back to it at ground level. Just about farmed the handball out with Mary Robinson all over her. Towards half forward it goes. That's another good tackle. Brilliantly done by Lucy Burke. Back there for the Blues. It's a high ball towards half forward for Casey. Soccering it off the deck there was Ella Morris. It's inside 50. Back there is Fuller. Gets the handball across. Demir didn't take it initially, but eventually got the handball out. It's worked across. Hannah Scott sending one across. What a great bounce there for the Blues as Maslin couldn't quite find it. Kick up towards the top of the square for Casey. Couple goes at it for Vasetsky. Got to the ball. Burst away. Got a handball across. Blues will try and rush this one through. Successfully done by Lucy Burke, who has gone back. And Casey double their score with that rush behind.
They do indeed. Still looking for the first major. They've had a couple of half chances, but now the umpire just stopping play for a second. Got an injured Blue.
It's Mary Robinson.
Yeah, slowly picking herself up. Looks to be okay. Just think reacting like she just had the wind knocked out of her sails completely there. Get the arms over the head, just trying to take in the deep breaths.
The scoreboard clock has kept ticking. I wasn't sure if the umpire has blown time off or not.
Looked like he was certainly acting as if he had, but she's going to make her way off the ground under her own steam, which is encouraging. The Blues will make the change, as the D's make a couple as well. McDonald, one of those players that will come back out onto the ground for them. He's had 18 possessions, 3 and 15 for Meg McDonald. Done a lot of it in close. She's just off this contest here. Almost a terrific mark pulled down there by Line. As I said, we've got Line and Lynn. Ball up here just outside 50 for the D's. Jatsak caught behind her opponent, trying to guide it down, ends up winning the clearance herself, burrowing through. Can they get a mark from this kick? They're going to get a free kick for a little bit of holding as they were trying to work into it. And it is Line that has the ball with the player on the mark at 40. Can she find something short here? Darting Eyes shaping like she's going to have a ping at this one. Drives it long. Doesn't quite have the carry. No mark paid in the square. It would have been a Carlton ball if they did. And instead a bounce and a chance for the D's to score deep in their forward line. Pedalled back at the top of the square. They've managed to burrow through with the clearance and kick the goal, Hammonds. Quick work, sharp hands, onto the boot quickly, and through it goes for a goal. Now the scoreboard at the ground hasn't added that behind from before. I got a little bit distracted, I think, with the injury timeout of sorts that we had, but it is 1-2-8 to 8-1-49.
Yeah, smartly done there by Charlotte Hammonds. It's always tough when you've got a scramble at the goal face with about 20 players in there. Summing it up, the former VFLW Blue to kick the goal. As you say, it is 1-2-8 to 8-1-49.
Rush behind, that'll get fixed at three-quarter time, you'd imagine.
Matzer going at it a couple of times. It's socking off the deck to Fitzgerald, who was almost held off it by Meg McDonald. Still in the middle of the ground, it's handball back. Here's Tyler Byrne, who will go up towards half forward, up to the one-on-one. Case will keep it. Here's Hammonds again, breaks the plane of 50, steps around one, handball short here for Lynn, who will work it back, climb with the dump kick up towards the top of the square. Burke back there for Carlton, couldn't quite take the ball. Looking to charge through for Casey was Bianca Line. And they've upped the ante in the last minute or so. What a goal can do to the confidence of a team.
I've liked Hammonds. She uses the ball well. Good intent.
Ball held up. Hammonds there again. Couldn't quite take it. Fitzgerald was then taken in the tackle. They'll do it all again. Straight down in front of the goal.
Very much tried to do the same thing there. She was just flashing past and just didn't quite take it. Almost a carbon copy. Williams, the tap down, kick partially smothered. D's with a chance here again at about 35. Hand pass towards Byrne. Byrne pulls the trigger, goes through the hands, free kick for a push. Will go the way of the Blues against Line, who was caught behind her opponent there, and Damon has it for the Blues in that back pocket. A couple of minutes to play in this, the third term. All sit up. Von Berto on a long lead takes the mark. Pushing down the ground at that one. Kick misread there by Byrne. Comes here towards Di Donato, who's had 20 possessions and 10 tackles. Von Berto doesn't get a particularly kind bounce. Here's Byrne. Right foot snap. Bit of an inside-out torpedo. Inside 50 mark. Almost held there by Line, gave it towards Williams, comes out again, the last goal's kicker to go for a second and spear it across the face there, Hammonds. But a lively few minutes here for the Demons, 1-3-9, Carlton 8-1-49.
Fair question to ask where this has been all afternoon. This has been good from Casey in the last few minutes. Mia Fuller from full back. It's trying to clear defensive 50 and a good hold in front. Played by Amy Trindade, who will look out wide for Fitzgerald.
9 in the quarter for Fitzgerald.
Half back. Yarenbach Jr. looks short for Von Berto. There's an arm chop free kick going there. And not waiting around there, Amy Trindade looks short. Ish for Plunkett. Speggins there inside 50 for the Blues. With Mark be opposed to her. Plunkett will look wider for Di Donato. She was never favoured in that contest. She then gave away the free kick on Gemma Proy, who was always best placed. Proy will spear a kick short. Like McDonald's. We'll look towards centre half back and getting a bit of a kick mark game going here, the D's. Liv Morris couldn't hold, but Hammond's back with it.
Can she give them something again in the last minute of this quarter? It's an open forward line, becomes a foot race. Burke did pretty well there. stopped and propped, was able to turn, just got the kick away. Another possession for Damon, coming into it pretty well, trying to go off the ground there. Was Markby, wasn't necessarily best practice. Goes forward to Hammonds, almost with the sticky fingers there, trying to drag that one in. And we'll have a ball up. McDonald up to 20, first player to hit that mark in this game. Also 6 clearances, which leads all comers, fighting a very good battle in the middle. And with a stoppage there, that should be all she wrote for quarter number 3. With just a handful of seconds left. Clearance will go the way of the Blues. And the umpire paid holding the ball just in case they wanted to have a shot from about 90, the D's, but suspects they will not do that. It's a 40-point game at the ground as they take a 40-point advantage into the last change. First clearance goes the way of Morris. They get over the back and they take the mark through Lynn. Limited opportunities, but gets on the end of that one, plucks it about 40 metres out. 35 perhaps. And this for back-to-back goals. I guess for Casey it's all about dragging some momentum into the coming weeks for them. Floats it high and wide, and an easy mark taken on the last line of defence for the Blues down there. Fuller, who's been in the wars at various stages, going to try to bring it out to our broadcast side. Pulls a neat kick towards DeMeo, who goes to Fitzgerald, who's had possession number 21. And a very strong performance from her. It's the first Blues player to hit 20 in the game. Mark not quite held there by Lee, pushing a long way up from the goals that she has been attacking. Tried to get that to Von Berto. Hands and knees scrambling through there is Madigan. Back to Casey. Old Casey for Casey. Down towards Hammonds, who kicked their goal. About 5 minutes left in that quarter. Casey closes down Jackson with a bit of pressure. Bit of sharing around here. Matza. Up the line, it gets over the back. Unable to complete the mark was Williams. Tied up and we'll have a bounce.
Mentioned Matilda Fitzgerald going north of 20. This already is by far and away a career high for her. She beats her total from last week of 14 against Williamstown. Still with the majority of the final term to play. Having it, losing it there, the Blues, as they try to find a way through via Trindade. Play on the call as taking the ball there, Evie Lee. Carlton will get it inside 50. A double grab, and Hurley's got another mark inside forward 50. Hasn't she had a good game?
Absolutely. This will be 3 if she can jag it. But yeah, she's been behind the footy at times, been in the ruck, gone forward, competed.
Former East Coast Eagle. About a 45-degree angle, fades away to the right. Fair got the journey though. One behind the result.
Decent hit that. 8-2-50 as the Blues break the half-ton. 139 Casey. So Fitzgerald 21, Von Berto and Trindade 20. McDonald 21 for the D's. Byrne with 16 is their second most prolific in the game so far. Klein was the target of that kick. Plenty of carry on it. Lynn trying to bustle through. And now they're caught, brought to ground. Umpire lets it go just as the ball does poke out. Almost a free kick there. Zara Byrne laying the tackle. So a bounce at the Carlton attacking end. Very clean takeaway here. Trindade sends them forward and they find the target in front of goal here. About 35 metres out, directly in front. Another mark inside 50. Maslin with the opportunity. Kicking from 30. And away to the right-hand side. Casey work it back in. Floating over the top there was Line. Couldn't hold on to it. Trindade, low darting ball's a good kick. Finds a target on the lead. Von Berto Possession number 21 for her, also 8 marks. That kick will fall a little bit short of its intended target. Good strong hands there from Proy floating across.
It's Gemma Proy called to go. Goes down the line. Almost chopped off by Von Berto. Pushing the back. So this will be a Casey ball. Back for Zari Byrne, who got a fair bit of acclaim from the Casey bench. Short ball for Sophie Casey, who did well to trap that and wheel away with it. Right-footed to the wing. Lynn kept it out in front. Well played from behind, though, by Emma Horn, the former Casey Demon. Had 45 times to the Demons before the move to Carlton. It's going to be sent aside 50 from Georgia Jackson. A high ball. No mark playing from behind. Fuller towards the pocket. Tapped over for a boundary throw-in. 41 points the lead for Carlton. Back in. Phillips in the rock. Tried to go a second time. It's McDonald with a tackle over the top and a good one on Tavia Di Donato. We'll do it all again.
Blues pressing for their 9th. Standing tall there was Hurley in the ruck contest. At the fall of it there, Di Donato, umpire, giving them an extra second. Been the theme of the day so far. Di Donato, 20 possessions, 10 tackles too. First player into double figures in that. Hurley with a pretty decisive tap.
It's a bit of the old-fashioned NBA double-double.
That's right. Only got the 3 marks, so she's not going to get the triple.
Or WNBA, of course.
Yes. Good pressure. Hand pass fed out. Trinde just toe pokes it into a bit of space for herself. Can she get on the end of this one here? Boundary line wins out. That little toe poke is her 24th possession. So she's shot to the top of the leaderboard. Go those team stats in a second. Plus 53 disposals, Carlton, at this stage of the game. And plus 12 inside 50s, 33 to 21. Bearing in mind Melbourne were ahead in that stat at quarter time. Casey rather were ahead in that stat at quarter time. Comes out here to Morris. Dangerous kick floating across their defensive 50. Markby's in there over it. McDonald crashing through again, and we'll have another bounce. 54 marks to 32 also.
Thrown up. Phillips is in there, moving through Plunkett. Almost held off it. Casey. For Casey with the clearing ball down the line. Vasetsky couldn't hold, was pushed out. Sophie Damon. Quite a day for Anna Vasetsky so far. We'll send one high in the Mitchell direction through the hands of Burke. Out the back. Chance for Tegan Williams to send it to vacant space. A foot race on. Liv Morris trailing behind Hannah Scott, who will get there first. Looks for the handball short out wide. Maslin couldn't quite take that. Boundary line will win out. First time Casey had been forward in a fair while. We'll have it thrown in with 8 minutes elapsed in this 4th and final term. Carlton with this game well in hand. And then some, really.
Been dominant. It's the early minutes. Second, a little bit of a hold there, waved on by the umpire. Line puts the tackle on the opposing captain. We'll have it bounced. Jatsak trying to guide it down. Another little bit of a hold off the ball. I think the umpire spotted that one. So Casey Vakasi has it 52 metres out. Had an option running past in Williams. Decides to set the kick up instead. Not a bad ball. Gives them a chance at the top of the goal square. Goes over the back. Burke gets there and lends a hand. stays inside the field of play. So this is always an awkward one for the defence. They can't rush it directly from the ruck, so nor can they knock it out of bounds. So it does open the door a little bit for the D's. And we see Hurley back in the ruck. And another stoppage, even closer to the line, almost on the goal line. Hurley guides it down. Blues trying to handball it around in the phone box. Over for a throw in. Well, not quite. The ball's just dancing on the line down there. Fed back. Lynn is there. Nice hand pass out of that, and the umpire is paid holding the ball, so it's good pressure. Player trying to hand pass it out of there was Damon, but it's going to be a Casey ball about 25-30 metres out on a tight angle. Zoe Mitchell right side for a left footer, but drags the kick from left to right for one behind. 1-4-10, plays 8-50.
So it'll be a ball in from full-back for the Blues. Lucy Burke has played well at both ends today. And we'll bring this one in from full-back. Looks long. Towards half-back, through the hands of McCarthy. Half hands for Plunkett, who sends it up towards the wing. Spegan out in front of Phillips. It was a better bounce for the Casey defender, who did well to throw it onto the boot, get it into the corridor. Ball pitching end on end. Sophie Casey slapping it on. Spegan eventually got there, wrapped up by Kirkwood, but got the disposal away. Fairchild nudged out of it well. It was smartly played by Evie Lee. DeSanto will give the handball across. Spegan with the step around Fairchild as a couple of demons falling over one another. A ball towards half forward. Mark spilled there by Tyler Byrne. Dave Donato with the handball across to DeSanto. Breaks the play in at 50. Looks long. McCarthy's up there for Casey. There's a hold and a free kick for the Blues. This one will go to Ellie Spegan, who has the opportunity to put through Casey's 9th. Hasn't yet kicked a VFLW goal, Ellie Spegan. A couple of appearances for her this year. 2 behinds coming in her career. This for her first goal. Right-footed, steers it through. Her first goal in the career of Ellie Spegan at VFLW level. And it's another wonderful moment on a wonderful afternoon for Carlton. 9 of the 10 goals this afternoon going to the team from Princes Park. Given how the season's gone for them so far, this will be a handy percentage boost. They will stay 3rd from bottom, with these Demons and the Cats below them, but regardless of that, this is a stirring performance for them to take momentum from. Trip to Trevor Barker next week to face the Zebs is the next on the docket for them. High ball as Tyler Byrne was in there. Hammond's caught behind. Jatsak in laying the body to disrupt the intentions of Nadia von Berto. Jatsak down again. Trying to put a bump in Bianca Line. Hammond's there again for Casey. Santo in there for the Blues, who was able to help farm it out. It's a trickling ball. Rosetsky read it well. Sends it long up towards half forward. Tegan Williams playing behind, might be involved here. Hammond's almost picking up at the bootlaces. Soccer off the deck. Donato, favourite to the ball here. She got there and gave the handball across. Carlton with numbers. Be sent down the line. Good kick for Kira Lamaya. The boot of Maslin. Into the corridor it goes. Hannah Scott couldn't take the mark. Sweating on her every move as Ella Morris did well. Then looked short for Zara Klein, who will shift it on. Overcooked for Charlotte Hammonds. As Jo Lynn played the tackle, the ball got out the back. High call to play on. Nudged out of it fairly, Mackenzie Williams. Fairchild in there too. It's Taking on the half volley up towards half forward. Kirkwood waits there. Vasetsky is one out if the ball can be sent long. It goes in that direction. Vasetsky should mark. It's through her hands. She's unlucky. Lynn out the back at ground level. She tried to go off the deck. Vasetsky shepherding the ball back for Lynn, who got it on goal and through. Good teamwork from Brzezinski to help clear the path. Lynn picks up the ball down low and snuck through a second of the day for Casey. A rare moment of joy on what's turning out to be a long afternoon for the red and blue. Jo Lynn has been a bright spark all season. Not someone who's always amongst the goals as much as you might think she would be. It's only a third of the year. She's always someone who tries hard inside forward 50 and creates opportunities for others. About 5 to play here. Down by Matza. DeSanto with a really clean pick up inside the centre square. Goes up towards half forward. Plunkett was trying to take it in the breadbasket. Bounced off her chest. Ball at half back here for Casey. Plunkett over the top laying the tackle. Umpire circling but not holding the ball. Delaney Madigan was wrapped up. One-time AFLW Demon. Played against the Giants last season in her only appearance. Then down by Matza. Trying to run away there was Bianca Line. Coming back the other way, Demo. Intercepting and sending it inside 50. A couple of one-on-ones there. Ball got at the back and Madigan with a disposal she would love to have back. That one spiralling into the crowd. And then quickly back to Amy Trindade for the Blues. Career high 30 disposals in round 2 for Amy Trindade. She's gone over 20 3 times into today. That ball goes up towards the 50. Big contest as McCarthy wanted to take it away and won't be allowed the chance. That is now 4 times, by the way, for Amy Trindade. Over 20, she's got 23 today. Putting together quite the season. As Fuller has it. Couple of kicks from home for the Blues. Call to play on. She sets one up inside 50. Almost a good takeout in front, but no mark there for McCarthy. Umpire will move in and ball this one up. There's just over 3 minutes to play. Carlton maintaining a 40-point lead. Down by Spagan. Fairchild in there, left it behind. And quickly wrapped up Tavi Di Donato alongside teammate and Casey Phillips. Down defensively by Spagan. Phillips with the attempted clearing ball. Damon's at the top of 50 for the Blues. We'll try and keep that one in. Was beaten to it superbly by Liv Morris, who went away and took a bounce on the far side wing. She'll send it down the line. Vasetsky closely opposed to the one-on-one that wasn't needed in the marking contest, but well played by Emma Horn. Carlton have it just back of halfway. It's a wide ball. Hung in the air for a while for Grace Matza. It's called to go. It does so left-footed. It's a high ball. Lemire wanted to make a play at it, but Zoe Mitchell was underneath it and able to take the mark. Goes left-footed. Over the back of Zara Klein. Donato first to it. Gives the handball across. Back there is Emma Horn. Couldn't quite get to the ball. A kick to the lead. A good mark for Anna Vasetsky. On about a 45-degree angle. Should have a look at the sticks here. Another one that's been used around the ground. Anna Vasetsky. This will be disposal number 8. Goes right-footed. Starts it right. It won't be coming back where she'd like. It stays in play, in fact. And Carlton, via Emily Hurley, might be able to get this one away. She gave the handball across. Maslin will try and give it back. Zara Klein stayed with her every step of the way. On the up to Mitchell. Kirkwood. A low ball towards the boundary line. Stayed in. Fairchild looked towards Hammonds. And it'll be thrown in with just over a minute to play. So a good day then for the Blues, who, if we're being honest, have done it rather easy. Their first win here since 2021. And their first visit here since 2021. Most of the games between these two have been played at Icon Park. As trying to step through was Ella Morris. She was taken with the ball. Fitzgerald in there. DeMeo, well inside defensive 50. Cut up by Meg McDonald. Less than 30 seconds to go, so this might be the final kick if she wants. In the meantime, Ella Morris is down, so it'll be time off, you would think. And this would go from bad to worse for Casey. Ella Morris has played really well across the day. There's the siren, but eyes cast to Ella Morris, who has plenty of Casey players around her, trainers too, so hope that's nothing serious. Has played a good game today, Ella Morris. Up to her feet and able to put some weight on both sides, which is one good sign, but we only hope that she'll be okay going forward into next week. Ball back to Meg McDonald, who will take the final disposal of the day. It'll be a kick after the full-time siren. It's going to be a Carlton win. Is it by 40, 39 or 34? Is the only remaining question left to be answered. '23rd disposal here for Meg McDonald. Right-footed. It's an absolute shocker. Sums up Casey's day. And it will be a 40-point win for the Blues, who led from pretty much first whistle to last, as that famous song rings out around Casey Fields.